Greetings, greetings, greetings. Today we are on the day, or in the day of Saturday, okay? Saturn rules the number 8. And today is also 4 diamonds, okay? Which is the 4 pentacles in the tarot. So we're talking about finances and so the 4 diamonds. Sound values. Sound values. I talked about values the other day in one of my other readings, okay, about transforming our values. But it says sound values bring financial stability. Okay, now the basic meaning of the 4 diamonds. The 4 diamonds means a solid sense of values that attracts enough money to meet our security needs and then some. When we know exactly what it is we want, we tend to attract those things to us more quickly. Thus, when this card shows up, it usually means that we have become clear on what we want and then we get it. Satisfaction and prosperity are indicated here, and you may have a good foundation upon which you can begin building a financial future. Managing your resource could come into focus in a greater way when this card is present. And this card can give you the ability to handle financial matters with a clear mind. Okay, that stability with that 4 there. Okay, since we're in a Saturn energy, I'm going to read the 4 diamonds in the Saturn period. So this influence can bring in money made through another's misfortune or death. Money swapping. Okay. So this puts me in the mindset of inheritance, money from inheritance, or, you know, that whole saying that the wealth of the wicked transfers to the just. Okay. So that wheel of fortune energy. Okay. The return of fortune. Okay. It indicates a satisfactory ending to a financial problem since it is a card of overcoming difficulties. Success is achieved through hard work, patience, that's that temperance energy, and discipline. Wow. Okay. This card assures you that you will have good health care in the case of any illness. You may have to work harder now for results, but they will come and will be long lasting. This card is such a strong influence that it will override any negative influences present during this period. Even if your other Saturn card were one of a challenge or problem, this card guarantees that you will have a successful outcome and an overcoming of difficulties. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And when it talks about patience, it's funny because I went into the Apples of Gold book and I, you know, was led straight to the temperance page, okay? And I'm not going to read all this. The only thing that I'm going to read here that stood out was the best victory is to conquer yourself, okay? The best victory is to conquer yourself. One more again. The best victory is to conquer conquer self, okay? Not someone else, okay? Not controlling someone else, okay? So We are on the Gregorian day of the number 5. Okay, 5. October 5, 2024 equals 23, which equals 5. Okay, so we have 5 here, changing. So some things are changing. Okay, and that's also the Hierophant, Mercury, the Archangel Raphael, dealing with healing and communication and transportation, who, rules Virgo and Gemini. Okay, so that 5 is a 10. The 10 is justice in the African goddess rising oracle cards. Okay, it's also the wheel of fortune in the Tarot. Right, then we have 10. And then with this day being Saturn and the year being an 8-year, Saturn is rules the number 8. We have 8, which is a 16, which is the Tower in Tarot, and then the 7, which is the Chariot in Tarot. Movement, freedom, victory, overcoming obstacles, highly spiritually protected. So let's go back. Okay, so the 5s in the African Goddess Rising Oracle, the 5 is the goddess of radical rebirth. Okay, she's in the temple of ancestors. She's in the element of air. All right, this radical, the word radical. So with the 5, this is radical changes. Okay, her declaration is still I rise. So the radical, that's extreme. Okay. That's extreme reform, revolutionary right there, energy, radical. Okay, so yeah, it's time, long time coming for radical reform, right? Because of all the subjugating, the oppression, the control, right? Perpetually and generationally, right? Yeah. So the number 23 in the African Goddess Rising Oracle is Medusa, the shadow of rage. Okay, she's in the temple of shadows, element of fire. Okay, and her declaration is I have a right to feel my feelings. Okay, so on another note with that though, some people are going to be in rage with this radical change that's here. This radical rebirth, this radical reform. But see, there's a such thing as called as an unhealthy rage. Now, and I'm gonna read a section of Medusa in the embodiment section. Okay, it says, sacred rage inspires us to run for office, lead protests, and shift policies, but unhealthy rage can devour your very soul. So that's what we're talking about here. These people with this unhealthy rage, because they brought this on themselves. Okay, I'm thinking about the 8 of Swords. Okay, this is self-inflictions. They brought this on themselves because of the perpetual oppression of the people, ancestors and their heirs, generationally. So yeah, there is going to be a radical change, a radical reform. We got Saturn energy here. Okay, this is a Saturn year. Okay, let me remind you. So, also, the 8th in the African Goddess Oracle cards is desire. Okay, let me go to her real quick. Gane, the goddess of desire. Okay, the temple of conjurers. Okay, what I desire desires me. Okay, and then the 16 is Asasi Ya, the goddess of joy. Okay, this is Mama. This is Mother Earth, Mama Earth. Temple of warriors, element of the bush. Okay, her declaration: I feel like me when I'm happy. Okay, and then that 7, 16 reducing down to a 7, that is Marie LaView. Okay, she's also in the temple of ancestors. Okay, so we have a lot of ancestral uh, presence and energy. Okay, here, goddess of good juju, element of fire. Her declaration is all I do is win. Okay, so this is about ancestral inheritance, divine abundance. Okay, that good juju. Okay, being an heir to a rich heritage of divine prosperity. Ashe, come on now, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. And on that note, I want to read something from this How White Folks Got So Rich, the untold story of American white supremacy. And I pulled it, it led me to here, page 42 to 43, but I'm going to start reading here, page 40, okay, because this is the middle of a section. So I'm going to go to the beginning of that section on page 40. President of White Supremacy, Woodrow Wilson. Okay. During his White House tenure from 1913 to 1921, President Woodrow Wilson established racial segregation as official United States government policy. This included the wholesale firing of blacks in government positions throughout America and replacing them with whites. One day in 1913, for instance, the Atlanta postmaster simply fired 50 black messengers and gave their jobs to whites. When questioned, he did not attribute the mass firing to any lack of performance of their duties. He said that the whites had families to support. The 50 affected black men and their families had no resource or recourse, and no resources, right? And the white replacements had to demonstrate no qualification other than their skin color. Major newspapers harassed blacks who held prominent positions until they were removed. Between the union bias and the private sector discrimination, President Wilson's ethnic cleansing of the government workforce further relegated blacks to agricultural and domestic labor while unjustly enriching whites. Okay. So that's the president of white supremacy under Woodrow Wilson. So now the stock market, the race roulette. The stock market is where the well-heeled investor or the influential speculator comes to practice capitalism in its meanest form. And just like capitalism, the stock market is rife with fraud and criminality, sporting an impressive list of epic financial swindles. The most sophisticated conspiracies are hatched on Wall Street, a street in New York City that began as a thriving market in African slaves. An indication of the extent and level of this slime is that its most prominent and respected figure turned out to be the most corrupt financial gangster in world history, convicted pyramid schemer Bernard Lawrence Madoff, aka federal prisoner number 617270054. The stock market's most notorious scheme was known as the crash of 1929. Okay, connecting that with Prophet Noble Drew Ali that date. A collapse of the economy that bankrupted the common American while blessing those with inside knowledge to become even richer. The quote reform, end quote, laws passed during the resulting Great Depression were claimed to build confidence in the markets, but they actually institutionalized economic apartheid in America. The Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 created two classes of investors. One, quote, accredited investors, end quote, the 3% of wealthy whites who were able to invest without restrictions, and two, quote, the uncredited investors, end quote. The remaining 97% left on the outskirts of the market without access to the free trade, the quote, free trade, end quote, enjoyed by moneyed insiders. The system was rigged with a list of qualifications designed to effectively discourage Black investors on one end, and much of its profit is derived from mortgage scams, third war operations, offshore banking, and a host of other Ponzi schemes and swindles, often targeting poor Black people. The latest of these scams and schemes came with Wall Street's housing bubble and involved a cross section of the white financial firms selling high ranked but bad risk bonds to investors with promises of huge gains. Financial institutions like predatory lender Bank of America and mortgage sharks Ameriquest and Countrywide steered Blacks into balloon mortgages on overappraised homes. The companies bundled those fraudulent subprime mortgages and armed with stellar ratings from prestigious credit rating firms like Moody's and Standard and Poor's successfully market those investments all around the globe. The predictable collapse of the housing market in 2008 and the torrent of foreclosures in Black neighborhoods served to transfer billions of dollars from Black pockets to white, just as nobody just as nobody was jailed for the series of, quote, weapons of mass destruction, end quote, lines that generated an everlasting global war. No high-level Wall Street bankers did time for a clear conspiracy that went all the way to the White House and that is estimated to have cost America between and 14 trillion dollars. The market collapse produced both the largest setback in Black wealth since the transatlantic slave trade, an explosion and an explosion of white multimillionaires. Okay, now going to public education, the fourth R, racism. Having been president of Princeton University, Woodrow Wilson is considered the most intelligent of the U.S. presidents, but his public education policy was categorically wicked. He declared, we want a class of persons to have a liberal education, and we want another class of persons, a very much larger class of necessity in every society, to forego the privilege of a liberal education and fit themselves to perform specific difficult manual tasks. That, quote, very much larger, end quote, class consisted of Blacks whose public schooling over the last century ensured that Black students fulfilled that inferior role designated by President Wilson. Of the 15 states that spent the least on education, 14 were on the South, where most blacks lived. In the early 1900s, the expenditure for each black student in Atlanta was $1.71, compared to $15 for each white student. In the 1930s, the only school in the Judah P. Benjamin School District in New Orleans was for whites only, despite the fact that only 77 of the 1,292 school-age students in the district were white. Custom and law required that black children in the fields alongside their parents picking cotton every day. A half century after, quote, emancipation, end quote, um, the curriculum for whites in the Birmingham, Alabama public school system, in addition to the three R's, included Latin, history, geology, astronomy, rhetoric, physiology, and algebra, while education for blacks focused solely on manual training. The city's colored school system incidentally was created and controlled by the city's rabbi, who was also a B'nai and a B'rith official, and only one in 7 libraries in the South allowed blacks to enter. Atlanta School Board President Hoke Smith declared in 1909 that the future of Georgia requires that there be no illiteracy among the white children. I do not mean any unkindness up to the Negro children by this discrimination, but I do not believe instruction from books, except of a simple character, is of any benefit to a considerable portion of them. Those blacks who navigated this minefield of enforced ignorance still found rigid racial barriers at all, in all caps, the major colleges and universities. Today's black students who borrow $120,000 to attend an elite college will earn only half that of his white colleague who paid only $60,000 to attend a non-elite university. Okay. In the 21st century, blacks and Latinos are more likely to attend high poverty schools than Asian Americans and whites. In the 2011, the high school dropout rate of Latinos was highest, followed by those of blacks and American Indians. Research has shown that in addition to socioeconomic realities that deprive students of valuable resources, high achieving black students may be exposed to less rigorous curriculums, attend schools with fewer resources, and have teachers who expect less of them academically than they expect of white students. Currently, though, 42 million blacks uh, are 13% of the American population. They represent only 3.3% of the lawyers, 4% of doctors, 3.4% of engineers, 1.4% of architects, and only 0.6% of senior managers. Most of America's private corporations simply refuse to hire black college graduates. Of the large private law firms, a study found law firm, um, Cahill, Gordon, and Rendell, the lawyers is a count of 206, with one being black. Phillips, Nizer, Benjamin, Crime, and Balloon, 92 lawyers, 0 blacks. Kay, Schooler, Furman, Hayes, and Handler, now K. Scholar. 209 lawyers, 2 blacks. Prosper Rose Coates and Mendelssohn, now Prosper Rose, 194 lawyers, 0 blacks. Rosenman, Collin, Frood, Lewis, and Cohan, now Rosman and Collin, have 193 lawyers, 1 black. A generation after the famous 1954 Supreme Court desegregation decision, Brown versus Board of Education, the highest federal court itself had 21 maintenance workers, all black, and 19 skilled craftsmen, all white. And 10 years after the landmark civil rights legislation of 1965, 20 U.S. congressmen made white skin color a requirement to work in their offices. Many Southerners look back wistfully to the faithful, simple, ignorant, obedient, cheerful, old plantation Negro and deplore his disappearance. Ray Stannard Baker, journalist and author. You see? So, yeah, you see why the ancestors are enraged? Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? So let's go. Grounding. Sauchet. Number 3, dealing with the root chakra. Okay. She's in the temple of ancestors. Told you the ancestral energy is here. Okay. And unfortunately, this ancestor didn't know her worth. Okay. And she gave up her temple. They misused her temple, violated her temple, prostituted her out. Okay. So the lessons here is know your worth. Okay. Grounding. All right. Connecting to the earth, connecting to Mother Earth. Ground yourself. Know from that which you came. Know your worth. Okay. The root. Okay. The root. Addressing your root. Okay. Healing your root chakra. That base root. Okay. Where all your basic needs are met. The 3 is Jupiter. So expansion, fortune, knowing your worth, expanding your mind to that of a higher consciousness. 3, the Empress. Yes, knowing your worth, sitting in your divinity. Shay. Whew. What divine oracle message? Harvest. Soul forgiveness. First forgive yourself. Okay. What divine oracle message do you have on this day of Saturn? Soul forgiveness. Soul forgiveness. Harvest, because your harvest is here. Harvest is here, a bowl nimba. Soul forgiveness. I'm not even going to read it because I read this so many times. Okay. But her father abandoned her and her children. Okay. Left them out in the cold with nothing. Okay. All right. He was a mean old God, supreme God. Okay. This is in the heart chakra. Okay. This is number 28, which reduces down to a 10. Okay. Knowing your worth, knowing your values. Okay. Connecting with Mother Earth. Okay. And first, forgiving yourself. Okay. Forgive others. For you, that's your divine gift. Okay. From you to you. So forgiveness. Okay. Because this harvest is here. Okay? Yeah. Heart chakra, root chakra, solar plexus chakra. And the third eye chakra. This is 43 is a number 7. Okay. That's how you, blue 5 here, get access, get the keys to your abundance, and that ancestral inheritance. What divine message, numerical message do you have on this day of Saturn? We get 6, love, love. Okay, love, love. Ooh, self first. Self-love is the first love. That's how you manifest your divine love. Okay, forgiving yourself first. Okay, wholeheartedly. All right. Allowing yourself to go through the grief that you need to go through the pain that you need to go through so that you can heal. Okay, because that's the greatest part of it, that healing process, because it's a bigger picture here. Okay, and that's that self-love. The 6 here is giving me Venusian energy. Okay, love, beauty, grace, abundance. All right, this is your security. This is where your harmony and balance is. This is where your stability is. Starts with the self first. Okay, the red here, dealing with the root chakra. Okay, the green, heart chakra. Okay, so clearing the chakras so that they're all aligned. Okay, and energy can flow. Okay, release the stagnant energy. All right. This is also a 12, which is the hangman, the hanged one in Toro. Okay, taking a moment to heal. Okay, to go through contemplation within self to become enlightened. And then that is the 3, the Empress. That's the divine mother. Okay, that's the divine feminine. That's most definitely sitting, rising to your divinity. That's abundance. That's creativity. That's fertility right there. Fehu. Okay. Infinite abundance. The Empress. Okay. Going through those phases, different levels of, divine feminine, the maiden. What is it? The maiden, the mother, and the crone. Okay. I look at the mother as the Empress energy. Okay. In the middle with the crone and the maiden. She gets her guidance from the crone and she guides the maiden. And the crone guides and gives wisdom to the both of them. Ashe. Knight of Cups. Okay. A love offer, emotional offer. from a night. Mm. With the cups, we're dealing with the emotions, okay? Love, okay? We're dealing with the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Past energy with the Six of Cups that I saw, okay? The Strength card, Power. This is the central sun, with this being representing Leo, okay? This is internal power right here, true internal power. So powerful that you can tame a beast, okay? The sun, healing. This is true royalty and leadership. 8, okay? Divine message. Do you have with the tarot? Judgment. Let's see what this is. Everything is fine. The Ten of Swords. So this is that those tumultuous, times, very trying times here. This is the oppressive energy I'm looking at. I'm feeling something kind of different here. This is that with these swords, all these swords in her back, okay? And in her side, in her neck. Ooh. Oppressing her throat chakra. Oppressing her heart chakra. Oppressing her root chakra. And oppressing her solar plexus chakra. Oppression. I see all these swords as oppression. Daggers to oppress the people. The betrayals, the lies, the fraud, the deceit. You probably couldn't see it then. And this was done perpetually, generationally. So our ancestors went through this same oppression, restriction, having their rights and freedoms stripped from them. Being the true, original, copper tone peoples of the Americas. You see, I'm going to go to something real quick. Hold on. Let me see. Where do I have it at? Because I'm going to quote this. I'm going to quote this. Make sure I get this right. If I can find it. If I can't, oh well. Trying to remember. Where is that? Because you see, second. Okay. So, our ancestors were the original and allodial inhabitants of the Americas and the adjoining islands prior to the existence of the United States. Okay. And air is the same as their ancestor. All right. We got judgment here at the bottom. So this is rising from the dead. Okay. The dead is the United States corporation. Rising up and above from the spells that they had cast over us generationally. Waking up. We're being called to a higher power. Okay. And this card also represents karma. All right. Hearing the call, they left us for dead. Okay. So they wouldn't have to give back what is rightfully ours. So judgment is here. Judgment is most definitely here. And like I said, temperance, they've done this for a very long time, generationally. The world I see, the wheel of fortune. Okay, this is the return of fortune. This is the return of fortune with this here. This is a number 10. Okay. Yeah. The abuse of power is no more. It's now time for a transformation, a radical change. Okay. And things are going to change for the highest good of the people. Okay. And the rightful heirs of this land into a humanitarian one. Okay. Mm-hmm. Judgment. Let me call to pull that. Okay. And this is also people who, this is also that self-betrayal energy, because see, this is a card 20. And in the African Goddess Rising Oracle, the 20 is the betrayal card. So not only the betrayals that they have done, but the betrayals that people have inflicted on themselves. Okay? Because they refuse to answer the call. They refuse to evolve. Okay? Wish fulfillment. here? It's an ending. So most definitely, this was their uh, wish fulfillment generationally with the Nine of Cups. Okay, they were greedy. They wanted to fill all of their cups. They wanted to take, creating imbalances. Okay, generationally, perpetually, just, taking from the heirs of this land. Okay, and this is greed. This is just overindulgence. Okay, that is a deadly sin. That, you know, sin being separate in nature. Okay, being away from nature. That's not of nature because it creates an imbalance. Nature strives for balance. So it's an end to their wish fulfillments. It's an end to their wish fulfillments. Okay, there's new beginnings here. 9 is endings. The 10 is a 1. So after all these, it is nothing else they can do. It's over. I don't care how hard they try, how clever they think they're going to get. It's over. It's just over energetically. It's over. It's what time it is. It's what time it is. It is over. This judgment is bringing things, it's ending things. This is that radical change energy. Okay? This is the number 13. This is scorpionic energy right here. Death and transformation. Okay? The royal heirs of the lands, they have been through several deaths. Okay? And this is the time of transformation right now. 4, 13 reducing down to 4. This is a returning of the power. 4 being the the emperor in Toro. This is the return of the power. Okay. Who the true royals are, who the true leaders are. And this is by divine authority. Okay. The fool, 0, having a clean slate. Okay. This is a clearing. This is a clearing. Okay. That space of nothingness. We have our endings. And then this space of nothingness. Now with our new beginnings, we're able to create. Okay. Whatever we want. There's the emperor right there. Okay. Yes. We getting there. Where truth is, fiction of the law does not exist. And their laws and policies, and it's not law. Okay, most definitely is not law. The ordinances and all of that crap under and below law is fiction, it's fictitious, and it can't reside in the same space of truth. And this is why their system is so corrupt. Okay? One, it's just not, that's never gonna balance. Okay? Fiction with truth. So one have to overpower, you know what I'm saying? So they use all that threat, force, and coercion to increase the falsehood of things, the fiction. Okay? But see, the universe is in law, the law of nature. So law, truth is law. So now you got a war. Now you got a fight. And this is what we're seeing right now. Okay? Because truth is going to always prevail. I don't care what you think you're doing. But it's 2 different frequencies and vibrations. Okay? Period, point, and blank. And that's even on a macro scale. Okay? When you in a company of a group of people or something, or in your household, whatever. If you got deceptive people that have the tendency to betray and lie and all that, and then you stand on truth, it just ain't gonna work. It's gonna cause all kinds of conflict and confusion. Yes, it is. Okay. And then there has to be some type of radical change that happens. Okay. Mm. Mm. Cold, dry. Mm-hmm. Mm. That's way too many. These curves stick together. Something is hot for sure. And it's this, and air is the same as the ancestor. Okay, that's the hot topic. That's the hot topic. Got fake ID car made, fake ID cars made. Mm. At the bottom, the state of Michigan. They are the true criminals. The state of Michigan governor and their minions are malfeasant, belligerent, and malevolent. They're parasites. They are the true criminals. And have mother, okay? Mother side of the family involved. And we have fraudulent contracts, okay? Then we have the Oya energy, okay? Oya is here to bring the destruction, the storms, okay? Okay, these fraudulent contracts, maybe they trying to destroy them, okay? Mm. Okay. Then we have abuse of power, okay? So this is that tower energy. Oya being here is the tower energy. Okay. Then we have symbiosis, parasitism. One benefits, the other is harmed. Okay. And sometimes this harm can even lead to death. Okay. Because a parasite feeds on a host. All right. And that's what these people are. Mm-hmm. Anybody in this energy of harming another, you're a parasite. Okay. Point blank and period. Let's see if anything else wants to come out. Okay, that infinity wants to come out. So let's see what's in there. It says, no, not in this lifetime or any other. Okay, it's over. Yes, it's a hell no, no more. It's over. Their abuse of power is over. Okay, yes, it's over. Solar plexus, the central sun. Everything is being exposed in this era of time. Everything is being illuminated. Okay, So, yeah, step into your power. Okay, step into your royalty. Because the return of fortune and property, that wheel of fortune, okay, most definitely is here. Okay. So we have infinity, that infinity symbol, infinite wealth. Okay. The infinite wealth. Okay, you are a threat because you stand for justice. You are the truth, and they hate that. Oh well, that sounds like a personal problem to me. Melchel's Melcha Nelcha L protects from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. We most definitely need to put that on them. Okay, dead presidents. Yeah, all this. Whew, this is one way they control the people with their fiat, floating rate notes, doula. Reversion. Reversion. Somebody tried to revert the doula. Okay, doula. That's that's in your, you know, your highest frequency. A doula, because that's a big responsibility. Reversion. Reversion. Police corruption. Okay, with this police corruption, they try to revert this doula to her lower self. Okay, to have a slave mentality, to relinquish her uh, internal power, okay, and her divine guidance and her divine authority to them. They wanted it. They wanted to siphon the energy like a fucking parasite, okay. Then got mad because they couldn't get the control. Them and these motherfuckers, okay, all working together. See, they're a minion of the state. They're minions of the state. Okay, these the niggas. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. You see. So I could have gave in. Yeah. But how would that how would that have benefited me? Okay. I wouldn't have known my worth. Okay. With the ancestor Saucha that we know as Sarah Bachman. Okay. She gave up her worth. I wouldn't have been able to tap into my divine harvest. Okay, my ancestral inheritance. You see, that's what they want you to do. They want you to relinquish all of that because they've been stealing it, you know, siphoning it, and all of that. So yeah, no, I roll with my ancestors. Okay, any day, anytime, and my in the most highest. Okay, because that's who the true illuminators are. Okay, illuminate. Shine bright like the star. That's the team I'm on. Okay? Yeah. Creativity, war, wisdom, too. That's who I partner with now. Yeah. Okay. The cell of court rulings is being illuminated. Okay? Some type of father, Baba, leader, protector, energy, persuader. Okay? Yeah. Queen of Sheba, Makeda, greatness, immense wealth and wisdom and resilient and mystical. Yeah, that's what I roll with. What they talking about? Some perjury is being illuminated too. Mm-hmm. They do all kinds of stuff in their systems. Look at here. Royal inheritance and birthright is our birthright. We have royal inheritance coming. It's an honor. Got that Georgia again. A lot must have went on in Georgia. Okay, return of the power there too. Okay, got enemies. So creative force, self-destruction, money blockages. So they're gonna have a lot of money blockages. These enemies. They're gonna have a lot of money blockages. We got the grandmother ancestral energy here. Okay, detoxing. Okay, solving the problems. Yes. Keep up time. Okay. Mhm. Give thanks. Give thanks. Gratis tibi. Gratis tibi. Gratis tibi. Give thanks. Judas Foundation. Blood sacrifice. Jamaica. Attraction. Spinous grind. Family betrayal. Energy cipher. The truth is here though, because of the sacred union. Okay. Masculine energy, left brain hemisphere, logic, intellect. Okay. You got to know when to use it. Okay. That logic and intellect, and dealing with these type of heathens, you most definitely have to use your, you know, intellect and your logic to, analyze things. Okay. Connect the dots, add things, be able to see the truths, the facts. All right, and we have just compensation here. And King of Diamonds, okay, which is the King of Pentacles. So this is Taurus energy. This is values, responsibility, your morals, integrity. Okay, very successful. Okay, but true success comes from having integrity and high values with morals and responsibility. That responsibility means accountability. A lot of these business people, women and men, they don't have no accountability. They in business and they shisty. No, okay? No, 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 no. That don't last. This last. So give